You know, I don't remember how many times I came out, but it was someplace to go for a weekend, and the idea was to relax and have a good time and forget about it all. But really, it was about Philip and about the glass house, which was even then, you know, incredibly famous. We're on the site. We go through the gate. It's something else now. Without Philip, I don't know. It's really part of your life is gone too. I don't know with it. It always looks great. I don't know why. I mean, it's a lot of talk about transparency and glass and steel and all that, but this house really is transparent, and the scale of it is just so inviting and pleasing. It appears insanely livable, or deliciously livable in some kind of way. And the study in relation to the glass house itself and the bunker, I think, are just perfect. For me, it seems pretty much just the same as it always was. You really feel the totality of the space when you're in here, so that your left hand feels that wall or that glass wall and the other one, and you feel all four sides, which I think is kind of unusual, particularly since it's not a square. I mean, a lot of the more trivial criticisms revolve around things like, well, you know, you can't really live in that kitchen, or you can't sleep in that bed, or this and that. But I think, you know, Philip lived here, and it's livable. It's just, it's not livable for everybody. You know, Philip was a powerful force, I mean, in the arts, not just in architecture. I mean, you know, certainly in the late 50s and 60s, he was the driving force behind the exhibition and the collecting attitude of the Museum of Modern Art. I do remember somehow the first time coming in here, you know, it was like going into a tomb, and then I was pretty appalled by the idea of the rugs for the wall. It seemed horrible, but now they seem pretty normal. And the idea of moving the walls rather than moving the paintings seems obvious in some ways, but I don't know where else you can experience it. It's as nice a private storage system as actually you could have, because it cuts down on the necessity of having to handle the paintings all the time. So it's nice in here. In the Rauschenberg, it looks just great. Philip liked Bob and Jasper a lot. Certainly the focal figure, the catalyst, was Leo Castelli. Philip just saw Leo as the extension of the best of American painting, and that was the sort of direction that it was going to go. And they sort of made it happen with the Museum of Modern Art. Oops. Oh. Well, there, we have more. I love this painting. I forgot about this one. I think it's called Effingham. I guess this is fluorescent and that's fluorescent. This sort of looks fluorescent, but this is actually a urethane enamel. It's one of the first ones they made, and it was just the orange color out of the can, and it didn't have a catalyst. It could have it was just urethane enamel, and it's kind of amazing how it's held up. Hear it? How hard it is, but because it's urethane, it does have flexibility. Philip, he didn't talk much about the paintings. I mean, that was the beauty of it. I mean, he liked them and he acquired them one way or the other. He was a patron in the way, I mean, he was a supporter of my generation. Philip was perfectly willing to pay homage to the great art of the immediate past, but he was one of the first and more powerful people to take an interest in the art of his own time or my time. This building, I like this building. It's nice that it's 10 times more interesting from the inside than from the outside. But for me, I feel for this piece, it's really lucky. The corner and the way the piece is contained is, I think, what sculpture needs. I mean, I'm not a big fan sculpture competing with Mother Nature. I haven't checked all the welds, but they seem. I don't think it was even re-welded. I don't know. It must have been re-welded when we put it in, but I don't remember putting it in. But the other thing, I mean, you could say is that, you know, you're looking inside painting. I mean, all this molten metal was, of course, liquid at one time, and it's made as a painting and then assembled as a sculpture. You know, people would ask Philip, you know, well, what about Frank? Can he do architecture or something like that? Can he really do it? And Philip said, architecture isn't Frank's problem. His problem is client management. I gave Philip a model for a building that I designed for Dresden. And well, Philip liked the model, and I said, well, look, Philip, we both know that it's not going to get built, so if you want to work with it, it's fine. You know, people are doing all kinds of things with curved and compound surfaces. But I think they did this with stucco and chicken wire and stuff, so it's a sort of sculpted building. I mean, I was happy to see that in a sense that it got built, but it's not exactly the way I would have built it. It was easy to get along with Philip, and it wouldn't be until maybe today that I have the idea that Philip liked me, I guess, in some kind of way. Philip's example of paying attention and knowing what you're doing and coming to grips with things and not being afraid to come to grips with things directly, I think was a very big example to me. I mean, it is Philip, and it is his house, and it's his building, and it's really great. And I think it always will be.